When I was a child, I was taught that every Christian has to be generous. And so I used to have to give of my pocket money every week for the work of the church, something I hated at the time. But it became part of my routine, it became part of who I am. So I've done it ever since. And it taught me the lesson that for Christians, it's as simple as this. If God has been gracious and generous to us, and we have received the grace and the generosity, the mercy of God, then our response is to be generous and gracious towards Him in our giving through the church to the service and reaching out of others. So that's how the Church of England operates. We cover every inch of the country. We exist in communities and cultures that are rich, that are poor, that are urban, suburban, inner urban, outer urban, rural, market towns. We're across the piece. And the only way we can minister uniquely in the context of any churches is that we have a common share. We pay a parish share, that the parishes give as they are able. And in fact, some of our poorer parishes, it could be argued, give more proportionately, generously than those that are rich. They may give less in cash terms, but as a proportion of what they have, it's greater. Now, why do we do this in the Diocese of West Yorkshire and the Dales if we're going to have ministry right across the piece, if we're going to have good leadership and engage in mission and outreach? We need to pay for it. If we're to have an administration that allows us to do that, it has to be paid for. And that is what the parish share is for. In the next year or two, we'll be bringing in a new system, having done a lot of research, which is starting now, on what the best system might be for us in this large diocese. But at the root of it is simply this: if God has been generous to us, we must be generous to Him and to one another. At the heart of the Christian Eucharist is a response that is taken from Solomon in 1 Chronicles 29, where we say, "Yours, Lord, is the greatness, the splendour, the power, the glory and the majesty. For all things in heaven and earth come from you, and of your own do we give you." If we really believe that, then we would be much more generous than sometimes we are. If we believe that all things come from Him, then we will give back to Him and through the church, that His world might be reached out to, and that people will see that those who love God are like God in being generous and giving of themselves.